Hi and welcome to this Die Designer video tutorial. For this video we are going to be looking at the Misumi pressure pin component, and that can be found up in the components menu. Click on it, scroll down to Misumi pressure pins or MPP from the command line. When you click on it, it brings up the pressure pin dialog box. We have two styles. We have the Hspp style and we have the Hspph style. And I'll go through each of these styles. For the Hspp, we have our body diameters, 8, 10, 13, 16, 20, and 25 millimeter body diameters with the inch equivalent in the parentheses. Our views are our plan view, which is with the pin body first and the head beneath that. The X-ray is just the opposite. It's the head first and the pin diameter beneath that. Then we have the profile view. You'll see the D for the pin diameter, the L for the length. The donut here is the insertion point, and then the arrow showing the direction when prompted when you're inserting this in, and then the H is the head diameter. We have our L lengths, and they are in 0.1 millimeter increments. You can see what the current setting is. It's at 44.4 millimeters, which is 1.748 inches. Also, the catalog data. You can see pressure pin catalog Hspp 13 for the body diameter, dash 44.4, and yeah, that'll update in real time. Like if you slide this, you'll see the catalog number changes accordingly. So let's go back to the 44.4. Also, just a little bit of information. Based on your body diameter, we have our different head diameters. So the head diameter, I'm just showing down here in this dialog box, because you usually have a spring behind these guys, and you know, say I'm using a 1-inch spring, this 25 millimeter head diameter, which is in inches is 0.9843. So for a 1-inch spring, that's a pretty good size there. So I'm going to click OK. It'll then prompt me for this insertion point and then the direction. So I'm going to zoom down into this side view. I am going to snap to the intersection, which is the back side of the stripper, and I'm going to show the direction of the pin, and yeah, it draws it in, and I can see that pin length is a little long. So let me see here. MPP. I want to go to 44.4. Okay. Snap to the insertion point, direction, and yeah, it draws it in. And that looks pretty nice. We have, if I measure this gap here, we have 181 thousandths of travel. For this demonstration, that's absolutely fine. I am going to do a little cleanup here. As you can see, this punch retainer, it's going right through the pin, and I wanna clean that up. So using the touch command, I'm going to click on this line, start the line command, snap to intersection, snap to intersection, snap to intersection, snap to intersection, offset and erase, just to show up. Oh, I'm sorry. .0. Whoops, I can't type. 030 offset. This, by the way, this is an inch drawing, so it automatically scales these pins down for the inch sizes. I use the trim command. And you'll notice I have this, these pressure pins have this 1 millimeter radius, so I certainly want to have a chamfer there for that. Distance 0.050. Okay, so yeah, that's cleaned up. It looks good. So based on this, I can actually put my pressure pin in the plan view. Now, if you draw in the X-ray mode, you would use X-ray. I draw in the open book method unless a particular customer requires it in X-ray, but I prefer the open book, so that's the way I'm going to do this. So it prompts me for an insertion point, and I'm going to insert it right on this spring. I am going to, I could either copy it, just the individual spring or the individual pressure pin to all these different springs, but instead I'm going to use something a little quicker. I'm going to use Die Designer Search and Replace, or SR, from the command line, and I'll select the all three components here, which is the pressure pin, the spring behind the pressure pin, and then the unified screw cap beneath that. I'm going to select the entities that I want replaced, which is just the spring and the unified. Click on for the insertion point, and then select all instances. So let's zoom out here a little bit. Get all these. And yeah, it copied it all over. Now, just to show you some some of the intelligence that's built into this, and let me actually bring up the dialog box again first. If you click the help, excuse me, you'll see the intelligence. It has bill of material intelligence, so I can, when I run the bill of materials, if it's linked to a liter balloon, it'll automatically include the catalog number and the quantities. We do have the object transform, which I'll show you in a few minutes. And then we have the touch command, which is mouse activated. And then a note that the transform pressure pins, they transform into a drilled hole that either have 1 millimeter, if it's a millimeter design, a metric design, or if it's an inch design, it's 040 chamfer to accommodate that head radius that we were talking about. You can also click the video demonstration to see this video. So anyways, I am going to do a liter balloon. So we'll go up to balloons. We'll use the split liter balloons, and we will start with balloon number 1. And I'm just ballooning these three components here: the pressure pin, the spring, and the unified. You know, if this was a full design, I'd balloon everything. So balloon 1 is drawn. Now it's prompting me to select the object to link or enter. Well, I know it's linkable. I just read that in the help file. So I will select the pressure pin. I will start the split liter balloon command again. Yes, balloon 2. And I will hit the V for vertical option. And now I will select the spring behind that. I'm going to do it again. Balloon 3, vertical, select the top quadrant, and select this unified screw cap behind that. Okay, so it's ballooned, it's linked. If there was anything else ballooned and stuff, that would all fill in too, but these are the only 3 items. So I'll zoom down here. Design aids, bill of materials, or BM. And as soon as I click this, watch right above this title block here, because this happens pretty quick. So yeah, you can see it picked up detail 1, the Misumi pressure pin with the catalog numbers, 32 required, the Raymond springs, 32 required, and the unified cap screw cap behind that, 32 required. So yeah, pretty cool. Certainly I could put this into an Excel spreadsheet by and I can export it to an Excel spreadsheet. In this case, it was creating a new one. And yeah, there they are. There's your pins, the Misumi, the Raymond Springs, the unified screw cap. This is kind of neat if you've seen the video of the bill of materials where, you know, if there's plates and all that stuff, it calculates the weight. And if we have fasteners in it, if I had a fastener list going, it would populate the fastener list. And yeah, so kind of cool. Now to show you some of the other intelligence of these guys, I'm going to just copy this out. Oop, I erased it. I'm going to copy this pin out. You know what? I'm going to just show you some this way instead. We'll put the pin in and we'll put it in the plan view. Then we'll put another pin in, but we'll put it in the X-ray view. Then we'll put another pin in and we'll just do the profile real quick. Okay, so real easy. Now for the transforming, I'm going to copy these over and I'm going to go to transform, object transform, select them, and they transform into that drilled hole. Now if this was a plate, you know, when I was detailing the plate out, I would transform all these for the punch retainer. I would transform all these pressure pins into this drilled hole. It'd take, you know, a half a second or less. And then I would run the hole data, and I'm going to use the select option just to select these two holes. And you can see the A and the B, and that's simply because the top one was the X-ray view, the bottom one was the plan view. So it's the 3564 drilled through with the 045 by 050 by 45 chamfer. The A is on the far side, the back side of the drilled hole, and the B, which is the X-ray view, is on the top side. So yeah, some neat intelligence there. Now let's say I put one of these in, or I did my search and replace, and I missed one when I was doing this search and replace. Using the touch command, I can hover the cursor over an existing one. I'm bypassing the dialog box. I'm bypassing any settings that change. Maybe I use some pressure pins for a something else that were a different size, diameter, length, whatever the case may be. But I missed this one, and I know it's the same as this one, so I just click on it. You go down, it prompts you for an insertion point, and yeah, it picks up the exact same one, the same body diameter, head diameter, overall length, and yeah, so that touch command is really kind of neat. Like I said, you don't have to remember what your settings were previously for this pin. If you put a different pin with different diameter, different length on a different view or something, and then went back and noticed this, you could go back to it without having to once again remember everything. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for more stuff. Thanks a lot.